If you're a man over 60 and you wake up every morning feeling less like yourself, tired, soft, and with little to no blood flow where it used to matter, you need to hear this. Because the truth is, it's not your age that's the problem. It's what you're missing in the first 15 minutes after you open your eyes. I'm Dr. James. I've spent over 30 years helping men reclaim their strength, confidence, and intimacy without prescriptions and without shame. And today I'm going to share with you one of the simplest, most overlooked changes a man can make to drastically improve his blood flow starting each morning. It's not a workout, it's not a supplement, it's not even a routine. It's a spoon. See, most men are taught to focus on what they do at night to restore their health. But what if the key to stronger morning circulation, real, lasting blood flow, actually begins the moment you wake up? In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how one small spoonful of the right food, taken at the right time, can trigger your body to send blood exactly where it needs to go, naturally and consistently. We'll walk through why mornings matter more than you think, the science behind this spoonful, the exact foods to use, and the story of one man who got it all back. So don't go anywhere. Your best mornings could start tomorrow. Before we get started, if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a good time to do it. And tap the bell so you never miss another tip designed to help you feel stronger, more confident, and in control each morning. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and tell me what you'd like to see instead. I'm here to support you. Now let's start with something most men never hear from their doctor, but it could change how you feel every single day. Because the truth is, what happens in the first hour after you wake up says more about your circulation, your testosterone, and your vitality than almost anything else. And if that first hour feels flat, quiet, disconnected, it's not just in your head, it's in your blood flow. Let me explain why that matters more than you think. 1. Why mornings matter more than you think. Most men don't realize this, but your body gives you a report card every morning. You just have to know where to look. For years, I sat across from men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond who told me, "Doc, I don't wake up the way I used to." They weren't just talking about sex, they were talking about presence, power, that quiet sense of being in control of their own body. And the truth is, those first few minutes after you open your eyes tell us everything. See, your body is designed to heal and repair while you sleep. And when that process is working correctly, you should wake up feeling alive, rested, strong, and yes, with healthy blood flow where it matters most. But when the body doesn't have what it needs, that morning vitality fades. Blood vessels don't open. Hormones stay flat. Energy feels sluggish. And most men chalk it up to age when in reality, it's a sign their system is missing a critical cue. I'll tell you something I've only said to my closest patients. If you want to know how your circulation is really doing, pay attention to your mornings. They don't lie. That quiet moment in the mirror when you ask yourself, is this just how it's going to be now? That's where change can begin. And that change starts with a signal your body is begging for. One tiny action that can jumpstart blood flow within minutes of waking. The question is, what exactly is that signal? And how does one spoonful make such a difference? Let's take a closer look. 2. The science of the 1 spoon morning signal. Let me take you behind the curtain for a moment into what your body is trying to do every morning, even if you don't feel it. As a doctor, I've run the tests, I've seen the labs, and I can tell you this. After 60, your body is still trying to protect you, still trying to pump blood to your muscles, your brain, and yes, your manhood, but the engine is missing something. It's missing the spark. You see, when you wake up, your blood vessels are in a transitional state. Your heart rate is rising, your brain is coming online, your hormones are beginning to shift. But there's one molecule that holds the key to getting your blood flowing fully and freely: nitric oxide. Think of it like your body's natural opening signal. It tells your blood vessels, it's time to expand. Let's get moving. Here's the problem. As we age, we produce less of it. A lot less. By the time you're in your 60s, your nitric oxide levels could be less than half of what they were in your 30s. That's one major reason so many older men feel sluggish, numb, and disconnected down there in the morning. But here's where the breakthrough happens. Certain foods, yes, simple, natural foods, can trigger your body to produce nitric oxide again. And when you give your body just one spoonful of the right fuel within minutes of waking, you flip that internal switch back on. So what exactly are these foods? And why does one of them in particular work better than most supplements I've ever prescribed? You're about to find out. 3. What is the one spoon morning hack? Now let's talk about that one spoon. The one thing I've seen transform tired, frustrated mornings into confident, energized ones. And no, it's not a new supplement or some trendy powder you need to order online. It's something you might already have in your kitchen, quietly sitting there waiting to be used the right way. Over the years, I've tested dozens of foods for their ability to naturally improve blood flow. I wanted to find something simple, affordable, and effective, something a man could take without side effects, without fear, and without needing to explain it to anyone. And I found it. It turns out that a spoonful of certain natural ingredients, like beetroot powder, pomegranate concentrate, or even extra virgin olive oil with a splash of lemon, can do more for your circulation than many of the prescription medications I've had to hand out over the years. Each of these carries specific compounds that trigger your blood vessels to relax and open. They signal your body to wake up not just mentally but physically, down to your core. One man I worked with, Leonard, 67, had nearly given up on his mornings. He told me, "Doc, it's like nothing's left. I'm here, but not really here." I started him on 1 tablespoon of pomegranate concentrate right after waking. Within a week, his tone changed. His walk changed. He felt like someone had turned the lights back on. But here's the key. It's not just what you take, it's when you take it. And the timing of that spoonful could make all the difference. Coming up next, I'll show you how one patient used that timing to reignite his mornings and how you can do the same. 4. Harold's story, from cold mornings to confident starts. Harold was one of those men who reminded me a lot of my own father. Strong handshake, quiet eyes, the kind of guy who never complained until one day he finally did. He sat across from me and said, "Doc, I wake up every day and feel blank. Nothing down there, nothing inside either." He wasn't asking for a miracle, he just wanted to feel like himself again. We talked about what he was doing in the mornings, coffee, toast, maybe some TV. Nothing unusual, but he was missing something. He wasn't giving his body the cue it needed to turn back on. So I gave him one simple instruction, just one. I told him, "Tomorrow, the moment you wake up, I want you to take 1 tablespoon of beetroot powder in warm water. Don't wait, don't skip it, just do it." He raised an eyebrow and said, "That's it?" I nodded. "That's it. Let's give your blood a reason to move again." A week later, Harold came back, and the man sitting in front of me wasn't the same. His eyes were sharper. His voice had more weight to it. He said, "Doc, I've got a little fire again, not just physically, mentally too." His wife had noticed. His posture had changed. He was waking up with energy, with purpose, and with sensation he thought was long gone. Harold's story isn't unique. It's just untold. And the reason it worked so well for him wasn't just about the food itself, it was about how that food works inside the body. Up next, I'll explain what's actually happening in your blood vessels and hormones when you start your day this way, and why it could be the missing link you've been searching for. 5. Why this works. Physiological explanation for men, 60 plus. You might be wondering, how can something as small as a spoonful of food in the morning create such a noticeable shift? Believe me, I understand the skepticism. I've treated thousands of men who thought the same thing until they felt the difference for themselves. The truth is, your body is wired to respond to the right input. Even after 60, your system still wants to repair, still wants to circulate blood, still wants to perform. But it needs a clear signal, and it needs the raw materials to do the job. When you take that morning spoonful of the right food, several things happen almost immediately. First, your blood vessels start to open. That's thanks to nitric oxide, which gets a big boost from natural compounds in foods like beetroot or pomegranate. This expansion increases blood flow, not just to your muscles and brain, but to your most vital region as a man. At the same time, your insulin stays stable, your nervous system calms down, and your testosterone pathways begin to reawaken. It's like your body finally hears the message, hey, it's time to come alive again. And it's not just physical. Men tell me they feel more grounded, more focused, like a fog is lifting. One patient called it clarity with muscle, and I couldn't describe it better myself. But like any system, timing matters. The earlier you send the signal, the stronger the response. That's why the first hour after waking is so powerful. Now, if you're wondering how to actually do this the right way, step by step, let me walk you through it, because one small mistake in timing could blunt the entire effect. 6. Timing is everything. How to do it right. I've had men tell me, Doc, I tried beetroot once, didn't feel a thing. And my first question is always the same, when did you take it? Because when it comes to circulation, timing is everything. You can have the right food, the right intention, even the right mindset, but if you miss the moment, your body can't respond the way it's built to. That's why I always guide my patients to treat their first hour of the day like sacred ground. Not just a rush to the coffee maker or scrolling on your phone, but a window of opportunity. When your hormones are shifting, your heart rate is climbing, and your nervous system is setting the tone for your entire day. So here's what I recommend. The moment you wake up, drink a glass of water. Then within the next 15 minutes, take your 1 spoonful. That could be a tablespoon of beetroot powder stirred into warm water, a spoonful of pomegranate concentrate, or a drizzle of olive oil with a bit of lemon. Choose what works for your body, but keep it consistent. Follow it with a few deep breaths, maybe a 5-minute walk outside if you're able, and allow your system to come fully online, gently but intentionally. This small routine doesn't take more than 10 minutes, but I've seen it change lives. It's not about being perfect, it's about showing up for yourself each morning in a way your body recognizes and appreciates. And here's the beautiful part. When you do this consistently, your body doesn't just respond quickly, it builds momentum. Which brings me to the next thing most men ask me, how fast will I notice a real change? The answer might surprise you. 7. What to expect. 3-stage results timeline. One of the most common questions I get after a man starts this morning habit is, Doc, how long before I feel something real? And I always smile because the answer usually brings hope before they even finish the first week. See, when you give your body what it's been missing consistently at the right time, it doesn't take long to respond. In the first 7 days, the most noticeable change is in your energy. Not wild energy, but clean, steady energy. You may wake up feeling more refreshed, more alert, maybe even with fewer trips to the bathroom during the night. Some men report their first hint of morning fullness returning, something they hadn't felt in years. By day 14, deeper shifts often begin. Blood flow improves. Erections feel firmer, more natural. That dull numbness that crept in over the years begins to lift. You might feel more emotionally connected, not just to your partner, but to yourself. One man told me, Doc, I don't feel like I'm fading anymore. I feel like I'm re-entering the room. And by 30 days, that's when things really come into focus. Morning strength becomes more consistent. Mood improves. Physical presence sharpens. You may even find that you stand taller. Not just physically, but in spirit. But here's the catch. This kind of transformation doesn't just come from one food or one spoon. It happens because your body finally receives the message it's been waiting for. And yet many men unknowingly sabotage this process before it even begins because of one small mistake they make just before bed. Let me show you what that is. 8. Final motivation. Why this matters more than you think. I want to speak to you not just as a doctor, but as someone who sat across from men who felt like they were slowly slipping away. Not from life, but from themselves. I've seen it in their eyes, that quiet frustration, that sense of, is this it now? Is this what getting older means? And I've told every single one of them what I'm about to tell you. You are not broken. You're not past hope. Your body is still listening. It's just been waiting for the right message. This one spoonful in the morning isn't just about blood flow. It's about reclaiming a piece of yourself that maybe you thought was gone for good. It's about showing up for your day not as a shadow of who you once were, but as a man still full of purpose, connection, and strength. I've seen men in their 70s and 80s wake up, literally and emotionally, after giving their bodies this one small act of support. And the truth is, it's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing one thing differently, consistently. I believe you found this message for a reason, and maybe today is the day you stop waiting for change and start creating it. But before we close, I want to leave you with one final thought, because even though this morning ritual is powerful, there's something else, something most men skip at night, that can quietly sabotage all the progress you're trying to make. And once you understand this final piece, everything starts working in your favor. Let me show you. 9. Conclusion: you're not broken, you're rebuildable. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you, not just for watching, but for caring enough about yourself to keep going. That tells me something important. You haven't given up. And I want you to know this. No matter what your mornings have felt like lately, no matter how long it's been since you felt strong, connected, or fully alive, there is still more in you. You are not broken. You are rebuildable. We talked about how your morning sets the tone for everything, about how one spoonful of the right food, taken at the right time, can help restore blood flow, awaken your hormones, and reconnect you with the man you remember being. You learned the science, the timing, the stories of real men like Harold and Leonard, and I hope you saw yourself in those stories, not in their struggle, but in their comeback. This isn't about perfection, it's about small, steady changes that add up to something powerful. And it begins with a single decision to treat your body like it still matters, because it does. You don't need to do everything at once. Just start with that one spoonful tomorrow morning. Let your body feel what it's like to be supported again. Because the truth is, your best years aren't behind you, not if you're willing to meet your body where it is today and help it move forward one morning at a time. If this message spoke to you, even in a small way, don't keep it to yourself. Click the like button so more men can find this information. Share it with a brother, a friend, or someone quietly going through the same struggle. Leave a comment below and tell me what you're trying or what's worked for you. I read every single one. And if you'd like to support this channel and help me reach more men who need it, consider making a small donation. Every gesture makes a difference.